Acts of Faith continued law, January 22. God isn't alarmed when we hit rock bottom, He made the rock. There are times in our lives when we feel there is no way up or out. Illness, poverty, confusion, loneliness, desperation. They make us to a they take us to the place called rock bottom. In these times, you may feel weak and vulnerable, and it is easy to lose faith in your ability to move on. It is exactly in these times that you must turn to the infinite power within yourself. You must know that the answer is exactly where you are. The strength you need, the answer you want, the solution that will turn up the situation around to you. If you can put aside the anger, fear, weakness, and desperation for just a minute, you will remember the other times you were at the bottom and how in a moment miraculously you were lifted up. There is no spot where God is not. Ask and it shall be given you. You will get to the point where you feel confused and indecisive. You can't seem to figure out what we want or what to do. We want everything, but nothing brings satisfaction. Our spirit is restless because the mind is racing. It may not be that we do not know. It is probably that we are afraid to ask. We may feel as if we are running to something, but actually we are running away. In those times, we need to sit down, get still, and evaluate just what it is we want. We must do this exactly, honestly, and often if necessary. We are human beings blessed with the power to reason. We have at all times the right and the power to figure out what we want. Once that's done, we must have the courage to ask for it. If we leave the cover of our skin, the gender we express and the ways of the world limit us, we will forever be denied. We owe it to ourselves to choose a way and ask for it. Once we ask, we can rest. Today, I plan to choose and ask with an open mind. For no one can be blessed without the acceptance of his own head. The wise African knew and understood the power of the mind. People can only be as good as their thoughts, as successful as mental patterns, as progressive as their ideas. Africans did not rely on books, related theories, or postulate quotations. They listened to their thoughts, prayed for divine guidance, followed the intuitive urging. Education, money, fame, and notoriety were considered as useful as dirty dishwasher without a clear, firm, focused mind. Their process was simple. They developed a strong faith and connection to the Creator, healthy love and respect for their ancestors and parents, a commitment and dedication to the traditions of their family, and a trusting relationship to the spirit of their own mind. Own head, trust your head and your first thought regardless of what others may say. Your head takes you to the places you want to go. Up, I bless the spirit of my head. Check your own BS. BS refers to belief system. Those things you hold to be true about yourself and others. Your BS is a product of your experiences and perceptions. And those things you have come to believe as true. Those things buried in the back of your mind. But are they really buried? No. Your belief system determines your environment, your abilities, and the way you approach life's experiences. What do you really believe about yourself? What do you believe about the ability you have to be and to do all the things you hold dear in your heart? If you really want to know what you believe, take a look at the people, conditions, and the situations in your immediate environment. They are the reflection of your own belief system. I'm a true believer in the best about me. It takes a deep commitment to change and an even deeper commitment to grow. When you know you're thinking, saying, and doing things that are unhealthy or unproductive, you must do more than you know. There must be a genuine loving support for the self to make a change. Change does not mean replacing one bad habit for another. It does not mean beating up on yourself or feeling guilty or ashamed. Change means voluntarily removing yourself from the people and environment that support you in remaining unhealthy. Change means identifying what you are doing, recognizing what you are doing is it, and gently guiding yourself to do something else. Change means not making excuses for yourself but doing exactly what you say you will do. When you support yourself in making needed changes, you are supporting your own growth. Growth is the commitment to being, doing, and having the best. I'm growing by thoughts, words, and deeds. There are two things over which you have complete dominion: authority and control, your mind and your mouth. Your mind is an instrument, a precious gift to be valued and cared for. You're not always in control of what goes into your mind, but only you can determine what stays there. If you allow negativity to pervade in your mind, you will produce that negativity with your mouth. Your mouth is the mechanism that reveals how you care for your mind. The conditions in your life stem from the most dominant thoughts of which you speak. Nothing has a hold on your mind that you cannot break free of. Since your mind will respond to what is said to you, speak to the condition of your mind. When they are wanted, give thanks. When they are unwanted, they demand they change. I am in control of my mind and mouth. We have got the right one. Baby, you're the only one who can do it like you do it. You are the best. You have what it takes. You have got the juice. You have got the power. You and only you have what you have. And nobody can take away that from you. You come from the best, the beginning, the source. You are destined to be great. You inherited the legacy of success from who you came before you. They knew you could do it too. You are the light in life. You light up the world. You make life worth living. You can't lose with the stuff you use. You are the beginning and the end of the phenomena called you. You are the one who makes the bed. You call the shots. You stand head above the crowd. They can't hold a candle to you. When you put your mind to something, you get it done. So what are you waiting for? I'm the you that can do it. Beautiful. If you don't sell your head, no one will buy it. We are capable of determining and directing the outcome of any and every situation we face through the power of thought. Yes, since many of us are not realize our true power, we cannot realize the truth of the statement. No one can do anything and do anything unless you let them. The key is to be honest with yourself and others at all time. Keep your thoughts focused on the best possible outcome for everyone involved and never allow yourself to be pushed where you don't choose to be. If someone called you a grape, you probably wouldn't respond. But if some same person refers to you as a coon or spade, you would most likely hold them responsible for your reaction. No one but you can ever held up accountable for what you do. How you respond in any situation is purely a reflection of what you think, what is in your hand. When someone does or says something you believe is offensive, do yourself a favor, don't sell your head. It's what inside my head that counts. Ford got a better idea, you can get one too. The things our parents tell us, the things we read in books, the things we hear and overhear create the foundation of our thoughts. These thoughts grow our ideas. For many people of color, the ideas they have about themselves are not good. They are the idea that is hard for black people to make it. This is supported by the idea that black people don't try. There is the idea that people are preferred over black people. This gives birth to the idea that black people are not good enough. There is the idea that black men aren't respected. This comes from the idea that black women have a burden black men. The idea that comes because there is so much conflict between black men and black women. Black children are lost. The thing we seem to forget is the idea that will die unless it is acted upon. Every time we entertain the truth of the false ideas, we give it the right to live. And an idea is not of your making or liking. You can choose to have a better one. I believe in my right to have unlimited goodness in my life. The mind is and always will be your primary business. There are times when it is difficult to make sense of the experiences we have in life. How are we to get ahead without money? How are we to overcome the intangible obstacles? How are we to move through the challenges, difficulties, and limitations we face at every turn? If we may seem that no matter how hard you try something, or sometimes someone is there to block you in those times, remember the words of Benjamin. It's not your environment, it is not your history, it's not your education or ability, it's the quality of your mind that predicts your future. I take the time to develop my own mind. Even if you are on the right track, you'll get run over if you just sit there. A positive, healthy sense of self-value and worth is the foundation of our happiness and success. When we know who we are and believe it, our greatest dreams are possible. When we doubt ourselves, question our worth, and undermine our self-values, our greatest victory will be worthless. Affirm, I am the greatest hero. That is where it starts. We must believe in who we are and what we do. We must look up and must trust ourselves to make it through the difficulties, knowing that we can. Only we can truly appreciate and celebrate our own success. We are equipped and capable of getting to where we want to be. If we have any doubts, we can always hold our own hand. I now create a positive pattern of self-worth because I believe I am the best. If you plant turnips, you will not harvest grapes. When we pass a garden and see everything in full bloom, we don't always think about the seeds that are planted long before we get there. We simply enjoy the beauty of the harvest. Our minds work the very same way. It's the law of expression that says we must ultimately express in the form those thoughts, emotions, and impulses we store in the subconscious mind. That part of us does not think, it does not reason, balance, judge, or reject. It is the fertile ground that accepts any and everything we plan, good or bad, conductive or destructive, constructive. Our lives will bear the fruit of the seeds we plant in our minds. If we have no faith, purpose, or belief in ourselves, we cannot blame the world. We plant the roses of peace we see in the garden. We can imagine good big things as well as troubling little things. Our mind will accept either one. If we want to lay back and sniff the lilies in our valley, we must tend our seeds of thought with constant care. I reap a good harvest from the soil of my mind. A most sacred place isn't the church, the mosque, or the temple. It's the temple of the body. That's where the spirit lives. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. Take a moment to check in on your body. Deeply inhale and exhale. Let your mind flow through your body. Check in on your feet, your leg, hips. Let your mind roam. Your abdomen, your chest, your cheek, back. Scan your neck, shoulders, and arms. What are you feeling? Fear, exhaustion, tension, anxiety, anger, guilt, shame. Inhale, exhale. Where are the feelings? Legs, back, neck, chest, wherever it is, whatever it is, you are the only mechanism that can fine-tune your body. With a simple breath, you can release the stress and replace it with what you need. Turn anxiety into peace, anger and joy into tension, into love, fear into faith, guilt into trust. Take a moment right now and give yourself a tune up. What I am in tune with my body, I relax and release the stress. May I assume whatever form I want in whatever space my spirit wishes to be. The ancients knew the connection between man and the divine. They knew that buried beneath the personality, perception, and self-imposed limitations, there lies a spirit of unlimited possibility. They knew that you choose your thoughts and shape and form your body. You create you with your words, the condition which you will face. You limit with your fear the coming forth of your desires. You destroy your lane of direction on your destiny. The ancient ones knew the only diligent maintenance of the mind and emotion would man master his fate, because the blood of the ancient ones runs through your veins. You have the same knowledge. You have the ability to do what you want in the place you meet. You simply follow the divine prescription for unfettered success. Begin within. I'm the beginning and the end. Nothing can dim the light which shines from within. Each of us brings to the world unique talents, gifts, and abilities. Even if you don't know what it is or value what you do, someone somewhere will benefit from your presence. No one can do what you do exactly the way you do it. It is a uniqueness that makes you valuable to the world. You are each one unique and valuable as the other. If you design that way, a gift from God, gifts are not given on the basis of race or danger. As a matter of truth, gifts come in many shapes, sizes, and colors. When you do what you do exactly the way you do it, you are sharing God's gifts, bestowing for the good of the world. I have something valuable to give the world. Beautiful. Nobody knows the mysteries which lie at the bottom of the ocean. The body is 96% water, like the ocean. You are the mystery of buried treasure. The deeper you are willing to go, the greater the treasure you will find. Your mind is the only equipment you need. The sharper your mind, the greater the depth that you will be revealed to you. Never allow anyone or anything to limit your mind because of your race, color, or gender expression, since the mind feeds your emotions. The emotion of your heart will keep your dreams afloat. If you can feel it, the world must reveal it. When you take time to breathe consciously, stilling the motion of the mind, you can take the plunge into the deepest resources of your soul. Take a plunge within yourself to find the joy, strength, peace, freedom, and the love you may be seeking in the shoes of life. Shores of life. I look within the ocean of self to find the treasures of life. Beautiful. If you have no confidence in yourself, you are twice defeated in the race of life. With confidence, you have won even before you have started. Nice. A history of oppression, denial, and injustice. Abuse has been the greatest determinant to the people of color. We have listened so long to what we cannot do that we have very little confidence in what we can do. It is this lack of confidence, not racism, hatred, lack of education, or social injustice that creates the greatest deterrent in our progress. One of the best kept secrets in life is when children of God make up their mind, when they bring their minds into harmony with the desire in their hearts, when they pray for and follow the intuitive guidance that no one and nothing can stop them, no matter what color they may be. Confidence and made up mind are the stuff kings and queens are made of. I am confident and possess all I need to succeed. Luck is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. Fear, lack of confidence, and low self-esteem tends to make us jump to conclusion. If what we are facing is near to our house, we have the tendency to expect the worst. We miss so much, including opportunities to change, when we jump to the end of the middle. We forget our focus and the goal, that we poise ourselves for failure. Ancient Africans knew that no matter what was going to happen, it would not happen until it happened. Therefore, we were prepared for all possibilities, the good and the bad. Do not jump to conclusion. You could be wrong. Do not pull out in the middle. That is a total waste of time. Keep your faith, trust, and stay focused. Put your best foot out anyway. The ancient ones had faith and trusted, knowing the end is only the reflection of the beginning. The end is not here yet. I'm sick and tired of being sick and tired. Many of us believe that unless we are struggling, we are not doing it right. That we struggle with thoughts, feelings, even other people. We struggle with money problems, family problems, personal problems. Many of us have said, I'm tired of struggling. Well, guess what? When you make a decision to stop struggling, you will stop. When you stop struggling, things get better. Struggles goes against the flow. It takes exhaustion in the mind and body. When you're exhausted, you get sick. If you're sick, you must make a decision and commitment to do everything in your power to be better. The power is the commitment never to do what makes you sick. The key is the decision never to tire of doing what is best, good, and right for you. I give nothing power over me. There must be inner healing for the broken vessels. She spent 2 days making her outfit, spent her last $50 on the new pair of shoes. She had her hair and nails done, spent 45 minutes putting on her makeup. When she got there, she spent the entire evening sitting in the corner, half smiling, half crying. On the outside, she looked beautiful. On the inside, she felt worthless. So many of us invest a fortune making ourselves look good to the world, yet on the inside we are falling apart. We manage to muddle through life, saying and doing the right things, but whenever we are alone, we cry silent and desperate tears. It is time to pause and heal the inside. It is time to heal the hurts, mend the fences, take up the hatches, and throw them away. It is time to heal the doubts, answer the questions, and release the fears. It is time to invest some time to what is going on inside. When we can do that, the outside will shine. I'm investing my time in something that matters. When there's anger in your head, rage in your heart, there is no the time you can't forget to boogie. Boogie, boogie, boogie. Many people of color are extremely diverse, wonderfully creative, desperately depressed. For some reason, all we know are capable of doing and desire to accomplish never gets done. We seem to be held down by our frustration, challenges, and failures. That in turn makes us so angry. We could scream when we fail to realize is that anger is what stops us in the first place. It's not the other way around. Angry people are stagnant. Angry people are frustrated. Angry people see challenges as obstacles. Angry people fail before they start, so they usually never try. Angry people tell themselves, I'm not angry, I'm black, I'm not angry, I'm poor, I'm not angry, I'm just tired. Yet, buried deep within the poverty and the fatigue is the black hole of anger that must be healed. Anger, not depression. Anger, not alcoholism. Anger, not hypertension. Anger, not cancer. Anger, not strokes, is what holds us back. So we might as well scream and let a little of anger out. I'm willing to recognize and address anger when I experience it. Depression is anger that you turn on yourself. There's a collective pain among people of color that has been denied, mislabeled, and acknowledged. The pain of our collective past, the pain of our parents, the pain we experience as children, the pain we create for one another, regardless of the sources or the age of the wounds. Our pain is the source of our anger. Yet we are taught it is not nice to be angry. We are discouraged for voicing or acting out on what we feel. We come up with cute little names for the things that we deny when we are angry. When we fail to acknowledge anger, this quickly becomes depression, and the weight makes it difficult to move forward. It robs us of our dreams. It steals precious hours and days and years. Depression may be labeled laziness, confusion, ignorance, or just the way we are. Very often, these labels make us angry. The only way to end the cycle and get off the roller coaster of denied emotion is to admit that we are angry and go within to find the remedy. I'm angry and I am still okay. Don't worry, be happy. Worry is the vampire that drains life of its foes. Worry stagnates the mind, creates an imbalance of immune system, weakens the throat, your power and authority center, impairs the ability to see beyond the thing being worried about. We worry about things we cannot control. We worry about the past and the future. We worry about those things we cannot do or have not done and how they will affect what we are doing right now. We worry about what we do not have, cannot gain, and the things we get lost. Worry creates confusion, disorder, helplessness. Then we worry because we cannot figure things out. We must eliminate the tendency to worry without worrying if it will work out. Take the situation creating the worry briefly and concisely write it down. Place the paper on which you have written in a window facing the sun. Make a commitment to yourself to let it go and move on. Everyone knows that when sunlight hits the vampire, it first shrivels up and then it is gone. I'm worry free. Beautiful, beautiful. Before you run, check to see if the bulldog has teeth. Fear is very natural. February 14th, the Valentine's Day. God, let's see what's in store. Fear is very natural and normal response to the challenges we face in life. Fear tells us there is something we must be cautious about. Fear puts us on alert and tells us there is something we must be prepared for. Fear means something we know nothing about is about to come upon us. Fear of change, unknown, rejection, failure, success are like the barking of ferocious bulldog. For people of color, the fear of being bitten again immobilizes us. The history has not honored our sense of worth and value support of fear. The best thing we can do to fear is confront it. We must know the validity of the things we fear. We must believe we can conquer them. The next time the bulldog of fear is upon you, is stare it down. Open its mouth and check to see if the thing has teeth. I have no power of fear. I have no power to fear. Good. A delay is not a denial. Patience is a virtue many of do not possess. We have very little difficulty identifying what we want and need. The difficulty comes in waiting for it to manifest. We become nervous, doubtful, even fearful when we don't see our good coming as quickly as we think it should. And sometimes we even allow ourselves to believe someone or something can hold us back or stop our good from coming. We worry, we complain, and sometimes we give up hope. We cannot see how to get in our own way. We forget about our timing and divine order. We may not realize how our negative thoughts, doubts, and fears support the positive seeds of we plant. We just don't understand that we do not have the desire unless the supply were ready to come forward. We must learn the virtue of patience because every time we open the window, we run the risk of making a good cake fall. I have all the time in the universe. Keep the heart with all diligence, for out of it are the issues of life. Queen Mart is the gatekeeper of the heart. It is said that before we can pass on the eternal peace, his heart must be balanced on the scale of Mart. On one side, we will place your heart, the cause behind all of your actions. On the other side, she will place her feather, which contains all the issues of life. If your heart tips the scale, you are banished from the peaceful rest of the spirit, which continue working to cleanse itself. What are you harboring in your heart? Hate, anger, fear, judgment, shame, or guilt will tilt the scale against you. The feather of Mart contains truth, honor, justice, harmony, and love, which the ancient believed were the only requirements for a long, prosperous, and peaceful life. To pass through the gate of the Mart, you must seek and speak the truth. Harboring ill thoughts and feelings, you must honor the ways of those who came before you. You must deal justly with honesty in all situations. Be harmless in all that you do, seeking no quarrel with anyone, extending only love to others. My heart is as light as a feather. I ain't gonna stand for no more, study war no more. Let us insist on peace today, turning our minds away from war. There is war in our hearts and minds, body, organs, and words because of the fast pace in which we live. Yet just for today we will lay down our weapons, insisting that peace be the light and the way. Let us know today that we are the spiritual beings programmed for peace and love. Let us teach by example, demonstrating peace in everything we say and do. Let us know that it does not matter what others say or do. We will think in peace and speak in peace, knowing in our hearts that will draw life. Let us know that we are bound to become in what we study. Let us study peace and love and joy. If we commit ourselves with just one day of peace, it is bound to feel so good. We will want it to do it again. I am a peaceful warrior. Don't let anyone steal your spirit. There are times when we find ourselves at odds with someone. It may seem that our only choices are to get caught up in the situation or walk away. The ego tells us we must prove we are right. If we walk away, the other person will win. The ego keeps us from recognizing that it is another choice. Whatever the situation confronts us, we must recognize our right to be at peace, the need to be right, and we discard it on begins within. It is the need that stems from the feelings of powerlessness, unworthiness, and the lack of love. It shows us in life the arguments and confrontations. When we have peace in our hearts and minds, we draw peace into our lives. When discord and disharmony present themselves, we can stand firm. When we let go of the need to prove to ourselves, nothing and no one can disturb the quiet and the peace of our minds. I am rightfully peaceful. When you will sit when you are old shows where you stood in youth. We can become so confused with trying to make it that we can never do. Unfortunately, before we know it, we are seated by age, hardened by experiences, having never realized the full value of life. We want so much, we try to do so much, it seems as if nothing ever gets done. The ancient Africans knew that quality, not quantity, makes life precious. It is our individual responsibility to set the standard for quality in our lives. We may have peace in our lives. We do have a source of happiness in our lives. Are we living up to the standards we set for ourselves? Have we set standards? Are we committed to following our heart desire? Are we making our dreams come true? We must decide for ourselves what we want for ourselves while the sunshine of youth is upon us. It's the quality, not quantity, that brings wisdom with age. I will let the sun of life shine on me. You can look ahead, you can look behind. What is written cannot be changed. We cannot change the color of our skin. What we can change is how we feel about it. We cannot change the pain-filled past. What we can do is change how it affects us. We cannot change how others may feel about who we are and what we have been. What we can change is how we see it and how we use it and how others use it in our benefit or detriment. The past has already been written, but we have the power to write the future based on who we are and what we know. Only we can write the future based on our self-support and respect. We can write the future based on how much we have grown. We can write the future full of strength, peace, wealth, and love. All we have to do is what is right now. I am choosing my future by what I do now. Those whom the gods would destroy, they first call promising. The road of life is strewn with the bodies of promising people. People who show promise, yet lack the confidence to act. People who make promises who are unable to keep. People who promise to do tomorrow what you can do today. Promising young stars, athletes, entrepreneurs who wait for promises to come true. Promise without a goal and plan is like a barren crop. You know what we should do if he could do it, but she can't. Turn your promise into a plan. Make your promise for tomorrows if you are able to keep it today. And if someone calls you promising, know that you are not doing enough today. My life needs a plan, not a promise. Deal with yourself as an individual worthy of respect and make everyone else deal with you the same way. Many of us live from the day to day without a real sense of purpose. We know we want more out of life, but we can't seem to put a finger on exactly what it is. But we believe our fate due to the lack of career, money, or the freedom of what we want. Actually, what we are longing for is personal mission. When you have mission, you have a core passion that gives you vision. When the vision of your mission, you move gracefully through your goals. When you have a mission, you wholeheartedly embrace the task and you remain focused until the task is done. Once you have a mission, you feel valued, worthy, and respectable that you manage to keep your road ahead and others notice you. What is your mission? Is it teaching, healing, painting, driving? Perhaps it is building snowmen, counting pea pods, or keep others on their mission. Respect your life enough to pursue the meaningful mission. Respect yourself enough to give yourself something to do. I am mission-minded and focused on a goal. The one thing grander than the sea is the sky. The one thing grander than the sky is the spirit of the human being. Beautiful. The reason we can't get clear is because we have so many things cluttering our minds and lives. We have so much mental chatter. We can't hear ourselves saying. We have so much emotional baggage. We can't feel what's good, what's bad, what's right, and what's wrong. We want so much so fast that we can't get clear about what is to do first. The first thing we have to do is to clear about the one thing we want. We must describe it, identify it, see it in our possession, and don't stop to worry about how that will create more clutter. Just want it and see it the way you want it. Once you do that, eliminate everything that is not getting you to what you want. Eliminate it from the thought, word, and deed. Eliminate people if necessary. Stop doing things that will get you what you want. When you are comfortable with the energy you have put into your first want, move on to the next thing. The trick is to want one thing at a time, focus on it, concentrate on it, and then let it go. I am clear about what I want. I can see through to it. 3 hours concentration, teach and learn myself and follow it and value it and do the journal with 3 hours of complete mental health break. And flow, put everything in the flow. What doesn't flow, put it out. Perseverance, organizing from inside out. Space, take stock of yourself, pause everything and anything that's not you. A, assign a home for everything that's you. C, containerize. E, equalize. So we'll take the stock of be now home, be now connected with God, feeling thy presence every moment, every breath. Swas mein tamara nalo japindi vata. Wow. And then put aside everything and anything that's not me. A, assign a home for everything that we are. C, containerize, put everything in its place. E, equalize, make sure everything in its place. So take stock of everything, put aside things that don't belong in that space. Then A, assign a home, make place for everything in its place, make sure it stays in place. Wow, we got it. You all did get it too, right? So let me know how it is. Okay, because your support is our inspiration. We must never be stupid enough to say or smart enough to admit you know what someone else is talking about. The moment you do, your learning stops. The ego encourages you to constantly prove yourself and what you already know. When you are in the presence of someone, you feel the need to impress. The ego's automatic response is, I know. When you are in the presence of someone, your ego thinks it's smarter, richer, more experienced than you. Your ego tells you, I know what they're thinking about me. I know they are the presence of someone your ego believes is not as smart, rich, or experienced as you. I know is the way you cut them off. The moment you say, I know, you are demonstrating that you don't know. You can learn something valuable from everyone in every situation. I'm open and willing to learn. Speak your mouth, speak your truth, and speak it quick. Saying that you really think, feel, or believe is often difficult. Usually, you don't want to hurt other people's feelings. Even when they infuriate you, you don't want to make someone mad. The real truth of the matter is somewhere deep down inside, you don't believe your feelings are right or that you have the right to feel the way you do. When you hold on to the feelings, you become angry, fearful, and confused. When you don't say what is in your mind, you will be prone to gossip, rebel, or commit act of betrayal against yourself and others. The only way to free yourself from the stress of not saying what you think is to speak your truth with love, clarity, and conviction, and to speak it quickly with a conscious tongue. I'm the truth from my heart.